When I was a kid, I dreamt of having a hoverboard, so I began experimenting with magnets. I've been working with brands and businesses to create custom levitation displays. I've been levitating shoes, skateboards, speakers, and even a mouse. What if we could combine magnetic levitation with induction? What if we could set the light bulb free? This is Flyte. It's a levitating light. It's floating using magnets, and it's powered through the air. So how does it work? You line up the center of the bulb with the center of the base. When you see the light turn on, you gently let go and watch it levitate. We want your Flyte to last a long time, so we use energy-efficient LEDs that are safe and don't need to be replaced. We crafted the base from sustainable sourced oak, ash, and walnut. Oh yeah, and just tap the surface of your Flyte to turn it on or off. When you're not using your bulb, wireless power is good for other things, like charging your phone. We would love for you to experience Flyte. So back our project today and be the first to get your hands on the Flyte. Be the first to experience levitating light.
Smartphone is the most popular shooting device nowadays. Shooting video with smartphone, network sharing, and live broadcasting has become part of people's life.
When people shoot videos with smartphone and holding with bare hand during movement, the image is always shaking caused by natural arm movements, especially in strenuous access situation. Using a 3-axis electronic stabilizer is the most effective solution at present. Currently on the market, all the 3-axis smartphone stabilizers are following the same traditional structure which is originally used for action camera gimbal. Smartphones have various sizes and weight. It's not easy to achieve the best stabilization performance.
Traditional 3-axis structure is difficult to achieve a balance between the cost and stability. From the bottom of last year, we spent a lot of time developing a brand new 3-axis stabilizing structure for smartphone. We can balance smartphone much better and perfectly realize 360-degree free rotation without adding extra high cost. And also, we develop a new 3-axis algorithm accordingly. Using Snoppa app, the smartphone can be connected through Bluetooth and realize interactive shooting control extending interesting shooting methods like rotating time-lapse, 360-degree panorama, and multiple exposure. We want to make the majority of smartphone users who love shooting with smartphone can easily own a professional tool in consumer level price.
Volvo is really a human-centric company. That's the core focus of everything we've done in terms of the products we develop, but also the way we interact with their customers. All people know that we stand for safety, but Volvo is so much more. Hololens helps us to push the envelope on innovation for our customers.
The Hololens is a device that you put on your head, and it doesn't intrude in any of the things you do, but it also extends the realities around you.
You can do something you could never do before. You can see the soul of the car. You can strip the body out and stay with the skeleton, and you can play around with it.
The HoloLens can allow our customers to see features, colors, options. So rather than working on the computer, seeing things, you can be part of the experience.
No one understands how car sensors actually works today. Through the HoloLens, you can see how the car perceives you. And then you give me as a human being the vantage point of a sensor. It helps to build a much better trust in this type of systems.
For example, you see a car coming in front of you. The car has features that could aid in that situation. We have a lot of features that we don't necessarily want you to experience it all, but it's part of our proposition. You're buying into the safest car brand in the world.
One of the great things that was said to us by Volvo when we started this was that Volvo loves technology, but only if it makes people's lives simpler. Microsoft HoloLens lets people take imagination and make it real, much more efficiently and in a much more collaborative manner.
HoloLens will not only help us in the car buying process at the dealership, it can evolve into many areas. We think there are many alternative applications of this tool in the future, and Volvo clearly has an aspiration to break out of the pack.
It's cool. It's way cool.
We present Skin Track, a wearable, low-cost, on-skin touch tracking technique for smartwatches. We can spill interaction out onto the skin, reducing finger occlusion of the small screen, while simultaneously enabling a larger area for interaction. Our approach still works, even when the skin is covered with clothing. Our system has two main components, a signal-emitting ring and a sensing band. With this setup, Skin Track can track the position of a finger on the skin in a fully continuous manner. Here is a simplified schematic view of our system. The signal-emitting ring is shown in orange, and two electrodes are shown in red. When the finger touches the skin, a high-frequency electrical signal propagates into the user's arm. Note, the distance to the two electrodes is different. The phase of the ring's signal captured by these two electrodes can be compared. As the finger moves around the skin, the distances, and thus the phase, also change. This phase difference can be used to compute the Y position of the finger. We can add more electrodes and a second phase comparator to infer X position. Now, we can track the finger in 2D skin coordinates. This, in turn, can be used to power interactive applications. Here is the real-world signal shown on an oscilloscope. The two electrode signals are shown in yellow and blue. The phase difference signal is shown in purple. Our prototype uses 4 pairs of electrodes. 2 of them are arranged to be sensitive to X-axis movements, while the other 2 are for Y-axis movements. We now present multiple interaction modalities enabled by our system. Our approach supports classification of discrete gestures, such as directional swipes. Similarly, we can sense discrete touches to any part of the skin. Our approach also supports continuous tracking on the skin. For example, a 1D slider. Here you can see 2D continuous tracking on the skin. We created a smartwatch prototype as a proof of concept and built a variety of example interactions. For example, a user can navigate through applications on their smartwatch with swiping gestures. A right swipe is used for selection. In this music player, the list can be scrolled vertically and items selected with right swipes. The touch screen and the user's skin can work synergistically. Here, the user drags app icons off the screen and drops them onto the skin, creating shortcuts. Games, too, can benefit by moving interactions onto the skin. Applications requiring many discrete buttons are also possible. For example, here a user dials a phone number. The hover location is shown to improve targeting. 2D tracking also enables spatial gestures, such as letters. Here, a user draws an N on the skin to launch a news application. When a phone call comes in, it can be silenced by drawing an S. To launch the address book, an A is drawn. 2 scrolling modes are offered. The user can scroll, as usual, on the touch screen, or use the skin to scroll rapidly through his or her contacts.